Hey there, welcome back to the vlog. It's Monday morning and today I'm going to see if we can vlog entirely on the GoPro Hero 7 without any additional bits and pieces. So we don't have the microphone, don't have a monitor or anything like that, just a bare bones Hero 7 and going for a walk through town with Gusto.
Cracker day in Wellington.
Yeah, it's a bloody good day today actually. There's no clouds anywhere except all the way up over a Wairarapa, and they can happen up a hut. Probably snowing up in the ranges. Boats out in the harbour. So the GoPro 7's got a couple of things that are a big step up on previous GoPros for vlogging in particular. First of all, the HDR capabilities are a hell of a lot better. You're not going to blow out or get deep darks as much as you have done on previous cameras. And you get to get video of your mates walking into canoes and stuff.
Did you get that?
That was fucking fantastic, Gusto. Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah. So there's this whole thing about walking around looking at your phone and not taking...
It's about took my head off.
Yeah, not taking any notice of what the hell you're walking into there. Oh, that was just... Anyway, I was saying the GoPro 7's got a couple of really good advantages over previous ones. First, and the obvious one is the hyper smooth, where the walking along with it doesn't really matter how much bouncing around you're doing, it's going to smooth it out really well. And that's always been one of the biggest problems. So you don't really need a gimbal with it anymore. It's doing a lot more work in processing inside to manage all of that, of course, but I managed to get a pretty clean image, and I hope that that's actually the case when I capture the slot. The next one is there's a really good quick shot feature where you can just push the button on the top of the GoPro to get you to start it recording straight away, and it'll do either 15 or 30 seconds or something, and then shut itself off, so you don't have to accidentally worry about capturing too much stuff if you're doing a montage or something like that. So this long walk that we're doing here at the moment to get from where we work through to where we've got something on today is something I'm going to be doing basically every day, or at least 3 or 4 times a week. So I'm seriously considering the need for a boosted board. So I think it's going to be vital if I'm doing this every morning and every afternoon. Wandering around here, and there's a seal popped up on one of the docks down here. Yeah, that's not something you see every day around here, is it? A good tip when you're vlogging with a GoPro or something is it's real easy to end up walking on the other side of the person and holding it in the other hand. You should try and avoid that, because it kind of breaks that whole crossing the line rule.
It's always the unexpected.
Yeah, it's quite neat.
Boats popping out in front of your face.
Yeah, walking into a canoe kind of shit in the morning.
Yeah,
who the hell would do that?
Well, you don't
honestly,
generally walk into a canoe outside the bloody water.
No, it takes a special kind of person to do that.
Wrong.
So Gusto here's just got himself a coffee with soy milk in it, and I don't know about you, but would you drink that? Oh, that looks pretty grog to me. But that's what you get for being a soy boy.
Anyway,
turn away. You get their shirts. What size are you say?
Oh, large. Large, yeah. Oh, awesome.
I've been here 2 weeks and I still haven't got my damn fedora.
So the thing I'm at today is a conference about DevOps, that's development operations, sort of combining into a single function with companies. You can look that up if you want. A lot of these things seem to neglect the same thing, and that's the existence of bottles of water or something for people. So I'm just out now to go and buy myself a couple of bottles of something to drink during the day. Got to keep hydrated. Okay, so we've been to the first day of our DevOps conference-y thingy, and I think it's been pretty bloody good actually. There's a lot of really cool stuff in it.
Yeah, it really has.
Yeah, it's good to have affirmation of a lot of things that we've sort of been working with for ages, so that's a good thing for me. So walk into another kayak. An important question that we were just wondering after walking past some stuff is, what is it that goes through somebody's mind before tagging something in public? Just spray painting other people's property?
Bloody push bike. Can't believe the push bike's been sprayed already, the free ones.
Yeah, Wellington City is one of the cities in the world that's started making bikes available to the public for a small fee off an app or something. So you pay an app, you put the bike number in, and it's something like 30 cents a minute, or 60 cents a minute, I don't actually know. And then you can go and take that bike and do whatever you want to with it, and then leave it there, and it includes a bike helmet and everything. And you're seeing some idiots going around and bombing them and spray painting them. I mean, what really goes through your head when you've got a spray can in your hand and you're about to deface somebody else's property? You think, hey, this is a really cool idea. I mean, it's just, I think it's mind-numbingly stupid.
It's a good thing for the city, those bikes. They're just going to take them away again.
Exactly, it only takes a few people to really screw something up for the majority. But I think that's pretty much one of the signatures of the human race. Okay, so that's been my work day. I'm in the car now, heading home. It's that time of the day. I'm going to get a few shots out the car windows and things as well to see how well the new stabilisation goes while sitting in the car, because from a lot of shots I've seen of other people, it's quite good. One of the things about being in the car is you're always going to get a high contrast as the sun hits the driver and things like that. I'll just put my sunshade visor up at the moment so that I've got better light. But yeah, I've always had a problem in the past using a camera here where it just blows out there, or it gets outside and really low contrast inside. So and just see how that looks. I'm really looking forward to getting home and seeing how my day's vlogging with the GoPro 7 has turned out. I'm going to put this all together and post it up, and that's what you guys will be watching right now. Just one note there, I've just found that if you want to use the stabilization, you can get standard stabilization at 100 frames per second, but only in 1080. You can't do the hyper stabilization at that frame rate. So just a note, if you want to use the stabilization at 100 frames, you've got to drop down to 1080. It won't stabilize at 2.7 or 4K. So I've dropped this to 1080 now, so I can shoot 100 frames a second and get some good slow-mos on the way home. Another thing that GoPro's made big advancements on is the voice control. So when I'm in the car, I can just talk away and tell the GoPro to do what I want it to start or stop. I've got to be careful, of course, not to say it unintentionally while I'm recording this. The other thing that's always been interesting with the GoPros is how much they shutter around. So I'm trying this out to see how much their hyperstabilization has an effect on recording in the car as well, so it's not bouncing. I'm not holding it, of course, I'm not touching it at all, so it's perfectly hands-free and all of that really neat stuff. It's just a matter of seeing how stable it is and how well it smooths out the vibration that you'll inevitably get every time from using it in a car. There's one thing that I'd really like to see happen with the voice command, and that is the ability to separate the start commands between different GoPros. So maybe I want to say GoPro 1 or GoPro 2 and then have them perform a command after that. Once again, being very careful at the moment not to say the full commands, but you know what I'm talking about. That would be quite useful because quite often you have more than one of the cameras in a location at a time, so just being able to say GoPro and then a tag word and then a command, that would be very, very useful as well. It's something I'm going to put in as a suggestion to them, because yeah, let me know in the comments below as well how many GoPros you actually own and how many of them you might have set up at one time for different things, especially if you want to be, say, hands-free in a car like I am at the moment. There's one last thing that would absolutely take GoPro above and beyond anything else if they could manage it in this really small piece of hardware that we've got, is if they could implement global shutter on the GoPro, even if it was at lower frame rates or something like that, because that global shutter capability that some cameras have, and I'm thinking particularly of the Blackmagic 4K that I use, the global shutter in that is just absolutely brilliant and has saved footage so many times. That would just remove that whole jelly vision, that scan wobble thing that you get from most just about every camera. If GoPro could implement a global shutter on these little cameras, they would just dominate, I would say. I mean, they're dominating anyway, but it would just cut the potential of any other competition out altogether. Is there another action cam or something that does have global shutter, I wonder, that I haven't come across? That would be quite cool to find out. Okay, this is a fast forward to the following day. It's been about 24 hours since I finished shooting all of what you've just watched, and I've been editing it and having a good look through it, and to be completely honest, I'm quite surprised at how good it is. The problems that have really irked me before, like the poor dealing with contrast in the car, this thing's just handled beautifully. The sound on the GoPro 7 is streets and streets ahead of anything on the 5 and 6 even, and that was getting better and better. I'm about to find out how well this handles wind noise, because it's just started blowing while I've been recording this. All of these little bits and pieces, the way it deals with dark shadows, high contrast areas and things like this. I was using Pro Tunes, of course, and I had the ISO set solid to 100. That's a good thing to do if you are shooting video with these things. Always turn on Pro Tunes, always limit the ISO level so you don't get noise, and always shoot in the flat image, because it's just really easy to bring it all up and apply a LUT to it or something like that. Overall, I'm really impressed. I've always liked using GoPros for vlogging. You can't see what you're shooting at any time, but you do get used to that one pretty quickly. You know, you sort of aim the lens at your chin so that your forehead's not halfway up the frame like this. But even with all that in there, there are limitations to this. I mean, you're always going to be quite fisheye-eyed, especially if you're shooting 4K. You can't go to narrow or linear mode. But those are things I can live with. You can always shoot HD, because let's face it, most people are looking at it on a small screen and can't see the difference anyway. So the overall thing is I'm really impressed with this. I'm actually going to go out and use this for vlogging a lot more now. The sound on it is absolutely brilliant. I think it handles the wind a little bit better than the RX 100. I'm going to have to go and test that one. I'll do a side-by-side of those, I think, coming up soon. Just particularly the audio in different conditions. This one doesn't care if it gets wet like the RX 100 does, so that's a big up as well. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. I hope this has been a really useful video. If it has, please do click the subscribe button to get more of these, and of course the like to say that you liked it and so that YouTube knows you liked it. Share it out with other people you might find that might find it interesting, yeah, help me get more subs, because let's face it, that's what I'm after. Okay, thanks heaps, see you later.